Hiya, my name's Dr. Emma Shepherd and I'm a lecturer in sociology at Coventry University, and I'm going to talk to you today very briefly about our sociology and criminology courses. So we have a BA in both of those, and you can decide whether you want to apply for both or apply for just one. The modules, some of the modules are taught between both of them, and some of them are specialist modules to reflect the content of the degree. So I'm going to talk you through first of all the sociology one. So we have a 3 or 4 year course. The 4-year course is where someone has taken an optional, a study abroad or a placement year. So they've either chosen to study at a university internationally, these can be anywhere in the world, and we help you organise that, or they have chosen to take a placement year, so a year in industry that might be related to a career that they want to follow, or it can be more to gain particular workplace experience. So we start you off with a very broad base in sociology. We don't assume that everyone starting the degree has studied sociology before. So some of the material can be a little bit familiar, not always, and some of the ideas are new ones. So we're trying to introduce everybody to the ideas to make sure everyone has a firm grounding. We also include things like academic study skills within our modules, and making sure that you're not just gaining knowledge, but you're gaining skills as well. So in our first year, we take Understanding Society, and then Social Issues and Social Policy. And in the second term, Race and Racism, Gender and Society, and Media and Popular Culture. So these kind of form the broad basis of your study for the rest of your time with us. They're all led within the department. They're all very aimed at giving you a really solid introduction, but we adapt them the content each year. They are very much up to date. And reflecting not just our sociological knowledge, but current events that are included as well. In year 2, you get a little bit of an option about what you want to study. We start out with some of our core ones, so traditions, controversy and social theory, and sex, sexuality, power and oppression, as well as political activism and the age of empowerment, which is more recent new module that we've just started, which is looking at, as it pretty much seems quite obvious, political activism, particularly around Black Lives Matter movement. Then we have researching social life and an option of one of the two, either identity, selfhood and personal relationships, or scenes and subcultures. Then, whether you wish to take a placement year or a study abroad year, or carry on to your third and final year, we start with the dissertation module, which is where you develop your own individual project, some portfolio project to emphasise your employability skills, and then a broad range of options that reflect the specialist knowledge within and research within our department. So deviance and desire, family, which is thinking primarily around gender and sexuality, family life and social change, pretty much what it says on the tin, thinking about family life, but broadly conceived of again. Punishment and penology is an option, so a more criminology enthused one. Digital worlds, which very much looks at online life, social media, but also video games, and the way those can be understood sociologically. A very popular option is the study trip, to take a trip abroad. This year, as I'm recording this, actually our students are currently in Sicily, in Italy. And then one of my other modules that I teach on, Disability in Society, which is looking specifically at the sociology of disability. So that is simply what you would be doing if you were to take the Sociology BA. Now, to look at the Sociology and Criminology BA, which is a slightly different degree. So some of the modules you'll see are the same, and some of them contain our specialist criminology modules. They are still taught within the department, so lecturers teach across sociology and criminology, but reflecting specialist research interests. So within the first year, understanding society again, the same, but crime and criminality, very much thinking about those early useful concepts in criminology that will give you a really solid foundation for the rest of your degree. Race and racism and gender in society are studied with the sociology students, and then we have policing and criminal justice as the criminology module for that term. Again, that's going to give you that broad, solid foundation, and we very much encourage you to think about the links between these modules, to not see them in isolation. You're really supported to add to your learning through these. In the second year, contemporary critical issues in crime and justice, exactly as you think it is. It's thinking about recent and ongoing issues when it comes to crime and justice. Tradition and controversy, sex, sexuality, power and oppression, that becomes a choice for those studying sociology and criminology, and also the choice to study political activism in the age of empowerment. Then researching social life, which is our research methods module, and the history of international crime becomes one of your other modules. Just like with a sociology degree, you can choose to take a year abroad or a placement year, or you can carry straight on into your final year. There's also the dissertation, then the module punishment and penology. Then you get a bit more of an option: global organised crime, which builds on the history of international crime; deviance and desire, again gender and sexuality; digital worlds, or the optional study trip as well. The same study trip as you'll be taking if you were studying sociology on its own. So some of the modules are shared, some of these modules are solely for criminology students. We can happy to discuss those more, but that gives you a kind of a broad flavour of what we will cover over your 3 or 4 years with us. To give you kind of a bit more detail, this is the how you're going to learn. We have the different modules have different credits. Put it this way, we don't expect you to work this out. We keep track of this stuff. But you take 20 credit modules, which have about 4 contact hours per week. Now, when we say contact hours, we mean lectures, but also workshops, seminars, discussion groups, but spaces where you'll be in a room, not just with your peers, but also with your lecturers and tutors. Some of the lectures may also be online, and if you have life issues that mean you can't come onto campus, we always encourage students to engage. So 20 credit modules have about 4 contact hours per week, and 30 credit modules have 6 contact hours per week, and you take 60 credits per term. It does all make sense, don't worry too much about the exact numbers, but 6 contact hours per week. So for example, understanding society in semester 1, where you will also have some time set apart on study skills. Now, the teaching that we do at Coventry is really rooted not just in sociological knowledge, but also we're really focused on what we think of as task-based learning. So you are engaging in learning by doing. We're thinking about your real world and employability skills from day one. And as I'm going to show you how you're going to be assessed. You're not just going to be expected to be writing essays. You're going to be engaging in all sorts of material and in producing all sorts of knowledge. Now, on top of this, on top of your 4 or 6 contact hours per week per module, you are also given a certain amount of independent study. This is work that you're expected to do at a time that suits you, in a place that suits you as well. And this is guided independent study. So for example, you might be asked to read a particular book or watch a particular documentary, but you might be given some discussion questions to follow up with, or some points to develop, but also some self-directed, particularly when it comes to developing your assignments. We have lots of support and development facilities within the university that are free to access for students. So this includes the Centre for Academic Writing to support you with your writing skills, The Disabled Student Centre, so if you have a disability or a learning disability such as dyslexia, they're able to support you. The Student Engagement and Flying Start teams, so that means that if you do come from what is broadly called a low-income family, you are supported to ensure that you're able to access university on the same grounds as students who come from not low-income families. This might include being supported to buy textbooks or support to go to attend field trips. We also have every lecturer, myself included, we have office hours, which are times when students can come and see us without an appointment. They know where we're going to be. They can just turn up to our office and ask to talk to us. And also you're encouraged to get in touch whenever you need to. Now the last bit, and this may be for those of you who are maths fans who have figured out the numbers, we also have our advantage modules. We take one per year and they are worth 10 credits. So these are, for example, most of our students in our first year take them in the first term because we have otherwise only 50 credit hours per module. So you have a 10 credit advantage module, and these are employment focused. They can be really super employment focused. So I've had students do things like we've had students do placements. We've also had students do psychology in the workplace or workplace management skills. But they can also just be things that you're really interested in, or that you think that could add to your broader skill base. So the British Sign Language module is always super popular. You can do other languages as well. We've had students take on media production skills, or even just art and design. It's anything that you are interested in or that you think might add to your employability. Always an important section is the how are you going to be assessed. First and foremost, we don't do exams. The reasoning for this is really simple. We can't think of a job that you would ever do with a sociology or criminology degree where you would be asked to write an essay under a certain without reference to your materials in a time set. It's not useful for the kind of jobs that you're going to want to go into. So we are focused on your employability. We are thinking about what can we ask you to do to show us what you've learned and to show us your critical thinking skills that are going to reflect the sort of things that you might do for your job. So essays are a popular one, but also reports, briefing papers, policy proposals, recordings, short films, podcasts, portfolios, article reviews, all sorts of things that are focused on the different ways you can develop and show your knowledge and critical thinking. Coursework only, no exams. And this also reflects, like I say, that our expectation around learning by doing, the ways in which we learn by giving you tasks and by looking at real world uses for the things that we're going to be studying. We are a diverse teaching team. We're all active researchers, which means that in addition to our teaching work, we go out, we do research, we write for academic journals and publish. And what we research is is reflected in what we teach as well. It's very much a two-way thing. We learn as much from our students as you guys do from us. Within our department, we have a broad range of specialisms, particularly around gender, violence, education, race and ethnicity, identity, citizenship, media, popular culture, sex and sexuality, disability, social movements, punishment and the penal system, crime and justice, and social theory. So if any of those sound like interesting areas, that is what you're going to be learning about, because our teaching really reflects the things that we study, that we learn, we have to teach. After you finish, going on to the world of work is obviously really important, and we support you to make that transition from university to work through the talent team, which provides a wide range of support services to help you plan and prepare everything from mock interviews to CV workshops to even just helping you literally helping you write applications and helping you understand where best to go looking for jobs. And our recent graduates have been employed in a really wide range of private sector and public sector. Banking and finance, media is a really popular one, but also education, civil service, police forces, charities, non-governmental organisations, local authorities, really reflecting both a wide range of interests and skills, but also a really wide range of knowledge that they've gained through their degree. We're really, really proud of the things that our graduates go on to do. And we stay in touch with a lot of them after graduation as well. We also do have students who go on to do further study as well. So if you are interested in postgraduate study, that's something that you would definitely be well set up to do as well. So if you'd like to get in touch with our course director, Kath, you're welcome to give her an email. You're also welcome to follow us on various social medias. Instagram, Twitter and Facebook are all places where we're active. Or like I say, just drop us an email if you're interested in learning more. Come along to an open day. We'd be happy to see you there.